We've been sold the lie that we can have a life absent of suffering, that hardship must be avoided at all costs, that a life without pain is the rightful inheritance of one who follows Adonai. It doesn't always sound like a lie. It may sound like breakthrough or faith at work, victory sermons and promises pulled out of context. No weapon formed shall prosper. You reap if you faint not. These are true, but dangerous when we see them as guarantees of ease instead of anchors for endurance. We set ourselves up for deep disappointment when we measure life by the absence of pain and hardship. We start to believe that suffering is punishment, a mark of disfavor, or worse, the failure of our faith. But Jesus never promised a life without pain. He promised His presence in all things, good and bad. He said, "In this world you will have trials, not might, not could, but will." Yet we're shocked when the story doesn't end as we prayed, ashamed when we walk through anguish as if tears are unspiritual, as if lament shows a lack of gratitude. We hold to a faith that celebrates the mountaintop and silences the valley. We praise gifting, but resist the fire that forms character. We crave speed and results, but the way of Yeshua does not serve our comfort. It serves our becoming, and sometimes that becoming requires breaking. We learned how to believe for miracles, but not what to do when they don't come. There is suffering we speak of openly, and others we carry silently, not knowing how to walk with a God who sometimes answers slowly or not at all as we hoped. Could it be we've confused the absence of suffering with the presence of God? Are we running from the very places where He does His deepest work? What do you do with that pain? What do you do with pain that doesn't leave with prayer, that you've tried to fast, worship, or rebuke away? You still want to believe, but your faith is bruised. Your prayers grow quieter. Your hope trembles in your hands. You ask what you were once afraid to say. Did I not pray hard enough? Was my faith too small? Is this the consequence of my sin? You combed through every mistake, every doubt, as if grief only comes to those who forget how to be spiritual. You wonder if pain means you're disqualified, if silence means He's absent. But will you stay? Will you dare to whisper prayers with more despair than certainty? Will you say, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief"? You see, it's in the quiet fatigue of surrender where yielding begins. Maybe this isn't punishment. Maybe it's not about effort, obedience, or even failure. Maybe it's just the fallout of living in a broken world where bodies decay, betrayal happens, and prayers don't always get the answers we hoped for. Even those who love God are not exempt from suffering. With surrender comes grace. You stop trying to strong-arm God, stop clinging to the version of Him built on ease and rescue. You meet the one who is not just present in victory, but faithful in agony. This is where the real work begins, where you trade control for formation, because some truths are only revealed when the lies are smashed to pieces, and some oil only flows from crushing. There is an intimacy with God that is only accessed in sorrow. Like Job, you learn that knowing Him is better than knowing why. And you can invite Him into the pain, know Him in a deeper way, and be comforted as only He can comfort. Somewhere in the quiet, over time, you see that you are being changed, not in spite of the suffering, but through it. You learn how to walk with a limp, how to worship with questions unanswered, how to pray when your heart is still broken. This is the tension of the faithful, to believe that God is good when life is not, to confess He is near when you cannot feel Him, to bless Him with tears in your eyes, Suffering brings things into unflinching focus. Joy and sorrow can exist in the same breath. Hope and grief are not enemies. You carry both the ache and the assurance, the questions and the quiet trust, and that too is worship. May you be comforted in the broken places no one sees. May you stop running from the pain that is forming you. May you stay with the God who waits for you. May His Spirit meet you in the dark. May you learn that suffering can be sacred, and that with God, nothing is ever wasted.